click this button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Pretty good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Shigaraki 2, a very popular request here over on for my deck doctors. Hit me with the elevator pitch.
So, as we know, Shigaraki 2, he's all about that momentum and picking up momentum.
Yeah.
So I feel like with now him having chaos, it allows him to work with that momentum really well. And with a lot of the new cards, there's a lot of cool, I think, little tricks you can play with your momentum.
Right.
That's kind of the idea, using momentum to kind of do tricks, but also on turn 2 to be able, on your first attack turn, be able to use like powerful ratings and also be able to go, oh, I want to hit my powerful 3 times, and you're pretty much taking 9.
Okay. So then, what do you need my help with? What's the goal of the deck doctor?
So I think I need to shave down some cards. I'm at 76. It's definitely high.
Mm-hmm.
But also maybe, I know I'm struggling with spam foundations. So I know like I think I have only like, I don't have a lot of spam. Like there's a lot of 2s and a couple 3s. So I think spam needs to be possibly raised up a little bit. But other than like, I think the attacks are cool. Again, we may need to shave down numbers of the attacks, but I like the attack lineup a lot.
Okay. I'm gonna ask some questions, and then we'll go digging in the cards, right? First and foremost, what's going on with this guy?
So this card I like. I think it's cool. Again, I don't think it's needed in this deck. It was kind of also there to kind of help my high blocks when I was looking to get high blocks. It's a 1 high block. So it's not bad. And now since I've got my high blocks kind of balanced, I think I could drop that maybe to a 1-of, because I just don't think it fits the character perfectly, but I think it's good when you're trying to fish for attacks that you need.
Sure. Permission to speak freely?
Yes.
This card sucks in your deck.
Okay.
If you got no way to like really cheat it in, I think this card's playable in Momo 1 and Momo 2, and that might be it.
Okay. Fair.
The only way that you get to see this card being played is if this number is significantly less, right? Like if I'm really trying to go find a specific thing, and then like this card is not better in this card is just like a different copy of Go Beyond, right? But anybody can use it, right? Because really the top 10 cards of your deck, add a card reveal this way, is kind of search your discard pile for an attack, right? Kind of. Also, this number
hurts.
Is terrible with this many attacks in your deck, right? You have 25 attacks in your deck, but these ones don't do damage.
Fair.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. We can drop it out.
We gotta get rid of it. It's gone.
Fair.
Recovery time. What's up with this guy?
So, I like it. So as Shigaraki 2, as we know, you're a really weak health character. So I want to try at all costs to make you not want to play attacks or string out to hurt me.
Okay.
So I want to go Breaker. That's why I have, like, for instance, that's the big reason why Ice Storm's in this deck and Recovery goes both at 4-ofs, because I want to go, oh, your attack string, you're going to have to play through some Breaker in order to clear through your attack string, and hopefully that deters you from really, like, stringing out for a long period of time.
Okay. What about Good and Evil?
Good and Evil, I do like, because
Evil versus Good, excuse me.
Yeah.
That was a UVS faux pas.
So I love the response on it. I think that's really good. So you're playing against decks that utilize, for example, Heroic Lineage. It's really strong. I do enjoy that card's response. Like, just be able to say, yeah, no, that response isn't actually happening. Or like, I know on one of the cards for 13, I forget what it is, she has a response that's really strong that you can just kind of say no to. But also the lose 2 health, like, yeah, that kind of blows. But I believe I have some ways to either, I think I have a way to, villains defeated to gain some of my health back, but also getting the benefit to my check and also the damage on some of my attacks really helps it make it so you have to block it. But again, I'm not sold on it. I just like the low block too. I like having the low block because I know lows are kind of hard to get.
Fair. Okay. Let's I think this card is the sickest 1-of all time.
Okay.
And the reason I think it's a cool 1-of is because specifically when it comes to being let me take it back, right? Here's a question I haven't asked in a long time. Is this competitive? Is this a competitive deck? Are you trying to take this to nationals?
I want to try to take it competitive if possible.
Okay. We don't know what we're canceling yet. right?
True.
I don't know. I haven't done a ton of research on this, and this is a tam doc that I'm wanting to do of like, what does set 3 look like? What should you be on the lookout for nationals, right? Without being like, you should be on the lookout for XYZ deck. The thing that you have to look out on for nationals is the aggro decks, and I don't know what I'm disrupting yet, right? I don't know what responses my opponent actually is doing, right? And so, like, it's very tough to want to put this set of 3 of in my 7-hander that wants to commit extra resources to make my ability work, right?
Can you use it to counter breakers?
You can. Yeah, you absolutely can. But this card puts a card in your card pool.
If it's true, yeah, it's like you just can't breaker 1.
So you get breaker 1 for the whole turn. For the whole turn, because it stays there.
Yep. So it's not...
So, like, yeah, you totally can. This definitely...
But it's not... I don't know why you would, yeah. Fair.
It negates nullify. It does negate nullify.
Although I can remove it from my card pool.
With
Shigaraki's, I can say discard momentum, remove that from the game out of card pool. Even though I use it to stop a breaker, I can just remove it from my card pool. Kicks it out.
That is interesting. Maybe that has more value for it, like being in the sideboard, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think your character might get to play this card better than others. I don't think you needed more than a 1 of in the main board. I also don't like Recovery Girl in the main board, but you're a 7-hand size character, so like your building won't be that bad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the attack lineup real quick. Obviously, this card is sick. This card is freaking amazing, right? How do you feel about Blitz Rush?
So the reason why I like Blitz Rush is that's like my main one of my main kill cards in this deck, and so I'm running cards that allow me to play Blitz Rush. Hopefully not on that like 6 or 7. Because, like, for instance, if I wanted to play it on my first turn, if I have League Interview, I can play it at a 5. If I play a second, I can still play it at a 5 with First Day of Class.
Right.
So it allows me to play it later. And also, like, one kind of thing that I think is cool, if I play, like, an Electric Jolt on my first attack, and I say, and let's say play Wall Cling, obviously, but if I say, if Complete Box deals 1 damage, and I have Charged Up on the board, I can force push in 2 momentum.
Yeah.
And then play Blitz Rush next and add 4 damage to Blitz Rush, making it swing for 11 on turn 1.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Why not have this be the stun 2 card? What is it? Pillar Swing. Why not have this be Pillar Swing instead?
Because actually, I never really thought of that. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
I think that's fair. That's a fair statement. I think we could definitely you could definitely convince me into doing that, because I do like Pillar Swing as a card. I've played it on Jiro, so I think it's a great card.
All right. Hit me with Freezer Burn, and as we look at Freezer Burn, I'm gonna go look at cards inside of the options.
So Freezer Burn, so I put this one in because my attacks are missing some low blocks, and I thought I needed it. But this deck also, I like have the fact that it swings low. A lot of low attacks are swung in this deck. And I do like destroy the 1 foundation. Your rival plays a non-character ability during this, instead of cancel it, so I can cancel like a Wall Cling or cancel some really good like enhances that can hurt my like ability to play my character. Also, discard top 3 cards of your deck. Your rival can ready 1 foundation. So, like, there are some foundations in my character that I think work with this really well. For example, I think one would be Shadow's Aid is really nice. So I like this one because it allows me to put cards in my momentum and also then pick them up for free. So if I'm not drawing attacks, I can play off of Charged Up. I can pick up any attack from my discard pile and then fish for it with Shadow's Aid.
Okay.
So it allows me to, if I'm not drawing hot, I can force myself to draw an attack I want. And so I think with, for example, like Freezer Burn, I like the ability to be able to re-ready that card, or re-ready any of my committed cards, like Graceful I could re-ready. So I think just being able to re-ready a card is cool. Even though they get to choose it, obviously. But really, it's a free foundation back.
Right.
So I get to just get a free commit.
Sorry, I'm doing a bit of looking. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. But I'm not sold on that card. Like, again, I'm willing to, like, that card is one of, like, I like the idea of it, but if there was a better card that you think would fit better in this deck, then I'm definitely all ears.
Yeah. I am We don't have that symbol. Just tossing in a bunch of cool chaos stuff that we missed on the cutting room floor. I'm gonna see how quickly I can get through all of it.
Okay. I know I didn't put in, for example, like Double Jab Pummel, which is a card I do absolutely adore. But the reason why I don't have Double Jab Pummel in here is because I'm using it in my Kamui Woods deck currently. I have a playset that's in my Kamui deck.
Makes sense. This card's interesting. This card's messed up. Reading? Huh. Interesting. This card's insane in your deck. And am I gonna play Chaos next format? What the heck? I'm not a Chaos gamer. I don't like the symbol. But there's just like a lot of good stuff going on Chaos wise.
Yeah, so reading Chaos, that's why I was like, let's see how Chaos looks in Shigaraki. It looks like, because Chaos was always associated with ally cards.
Mm-hmm.
But now, not the new cards. There are a lot of new cards that have Chaos that aren't ally that are all very solid cards. And I love Death Arm's Wall. I think that card is really good.
Death Arm's Wall? Tell me about it.
So I like Death Arm's Wall because, again, so you get Powerful 2 on the card. So, example, like I said, with the whole turn 1, if I have this card, I can technically play it and play the Powerful 2 rating and make it unblockable almost on turn 1 when if they play 4 Foundations. But if I do the whole Electric Jolt strategy, because I get to put in then 2 momentum, I get to make it an 8 damage attack on a 6 speed, and if I committed one with Electric Jolt, it's almost unblockable, and I get to then flip that Foundation I committed with Electric Jolt.
Yeah.
So I just go, you committed, like for example, like when I play, I have some people who want to play, they commit a card they use on offense, it's a really good offensive card they committed on defense, and I just go, oh yeah, you wanted to use that on offense? Yeah, you're not going to be able to use that on offense.
Yeah. Let me look at the things I put in. Okay. We got a couple cards. First off, we already talked about Pillow Swing, right? Sludge is a neat card, but it's a bit of a win more card. I think Pillow Swing's probably just like a better version of whatever Sludge has got going on.
Yep.
For a 6 diff versus 5 diff gives you a momentum no matter what. But it is a 6 diff that we got to play. But like, there's ways for us to get around it. This card is really cute because we have a way to get rid of the face down card in our card pool, and it's a flash, so my opponent can't mess with it, right? So like Acid Chop, we both add 1, so it's a 5/high for 4, and then we respond after it hits, commit a Foundation, snag our momentum, we play a card, we discard the momentum, we clear the face down, right? So like they have a card in the card pool and I don't. Exact same thing, but instead it's now Cheerful Uppercut. This card is messed up in Shigaraki. This card should be a 4 of in your deck. Pretty much guaranteed. Discard momentum, it gets +4 damage. It's a 5 low for 8 in your character that you also like get to mitigate the negative on when it comes to like the thing, right?
Yep.
We're playing a bunch of charges. This card's sweet. This card's if this card hits, it's live. You hit with your 0 gravity barrier, respond, commit your Foundation, then snap the momentum, and then at the end of the turn, this thing goes your momentum. 0 gravity barrier is on. And now your opponent has to have 1 more to kill you.
Yep.
This is one of the best Meteor Shower characters in the entire game. The only issue with a Meteor Shower deck like this is Shigaraki removes cards from the card pool, but every time that your Meteor Shower hits, it fuels the next Meteor Shower, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, if you hit with 1 Meteor Shower, you get to pick them all up out of your discard pile by committing 1 Foundation. Committing 1 Foundation, discarding 1 card. This character's insane with Meteor Shower. Your Gravity Lift, it's not a throw, but it turns on everything else. It says it is a throw, and so Shigaraki doesn't work with it, right? But it turns on everything else for the rest of your deck, right? It clears a card pool. It gives you the extra whatever. It's like having 0 Gravity Lift and then swinging with Jolt means you have 2 momentum, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it just like snaps stuff so fast. And then Float Combo is just another copy of Jolt, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was kind of playing around with Electric Surge, even though it's not that good of a card, but I do think it's kind of really funny on Shigaraki with how much momentum you can just pop with Electric Surge. You get so much momentum so fast, but again, I think I pull enough momentum, it's not worth it.
Right.
You see, like the top of my sideboard was like,
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily need it. I do think you leaving Blue Flame Palm Strike on the table is a mistake. I think this card is actually better than Death Arm's Wallop in a lot of cases. The big thing is this card gets speed, right? Whereas this card, this card already starts fast. This card's just got a better powerful rating. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I like Blue Flame Palm Strike more than Death Arm's Wallop, but that might just be me. This card generates its own momentum. This card does not. This card is a way to cash it out, to spend it, right? So maybe this is like, this is the one of, and then we play like 3 of this, and we keep our block zones the same, and then like this card just kills them, but this card also just accidentally kills them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Freezer Burn. This card is neat. I think this card's kind of bad. I mean, this card doesn't do what your character wants to do. Like, this card easily gets to be like Cheerful Uppercut instead.
Yep.
I don't know. This is your choice, right? Or better yet, like this card, instead of Uppercut, instead of Ice Storm, we play Uppercut, right? Because they do similar jobs, right? We play 1 Ice Storm because of the neat breaker and the extra momentum stuff, and then we play triple Uppercut. Your number on attacks stays the same, but this card just does a better job in your deck, truthfully.
Yep. And I guess a question I have, because again, I'm not like new to the game, but still like learning as I go.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like building decks and stuff like that, like we have now I think 8 different attacks in my deck. Does that make it like less consistent, or if you get what I'm saying, or is that not what makes it consistency?
Great question.
You know?
Great question. How many decks were in top 16 this past weekend? How many unique characters were in top 16 this weekend?
I actually don't know. I didn't have time to look.
Roughly 10. Roughly.
Yeah.
Now, let's take and look at those the other 6 characters that were in the top 16. And when they were copies of a character inside the top 16, were they the same symbol? The answer is no.
No.
They didn't share the symbols with every character that we had 4 Jiros in top cuts, right? 2 of them were air world, 2 of them were good, which means you actually had 2 different Jiro decks you had to worry about. You had an air deck and a good deck. What having a variety of attacks do is it spreads out the net of things that you're allowed to deal with, right? There's going to be a character that Death Arm's Wallop isn't good against, right? Yeah. There's a character that Death Arm's Wallop isn't good against, but Blue Flame Palm Strike is. And vice versa. There's a character that Death Arm's Wallop is good against, but Blue Flame Palm Strike isn't, right? And so, like, this is where you get to now playtest a bunch of different things and be like, yo, is this card better than this card? Should it be 2 and 2? Should it now be 1 and 3, right?
Yep.
I think one of the coolest things about our game is you're playing there's 100 characters in our game, but there's 300 different decks, right? But then because every character has their own symbol, but then there are packages inside of those, right? Your Chaos deck does not look like somebody else's Chaos deck.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
And so, like, yes, it does muddy your consistency via game plan, but if your game plan is only doing exactly one thing, what happens when you find the brick wall that stops your one thing?
You can't break
it. You have no way to pivot. And that's what this does. That's what this does.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Here's what I'm seeing, right? I think Freezer Burn is not a good card, and I think we should take it out.
Okay.
I think we should take it out and replace its low block with the 4X of... Where did the card go? It's gone. It's gone. Look over low block. Pillar Swing! I think Pillar Swing absolutely mollywops in this character. 3 speed, 8 damage, stun 2. If it's completely blocked, it goes your momentum, and if it hits, you get a momentum. And then if it hits at the end of the turn, you get a momentum. And if it hits at the end of the turn, you get an extra momentum.
Yeah.
I think this card is very, very good in your deck as like a lead and an opener, right?
Yep.
And then if it isn't completely blocked, right? If we want to, we can just clear it. It's chill.
Yep.
I'm down. What this does, though, is this does put 7 6-diffs in our deck, and so we probably want to cut this Blitz Rush down to like a 1 of. right? I think it's really neat. It's really spicy. It's beautiful deadlock. Absolutely stunning deadlock. We could probably find something else to put in its place. Something like the last cheerful uppercut. We could put in like acid chop. We could put in the meteor showers, right? We could just toss in meteor showers. I think that would not be terrible. As we look at block zones again, right? Here's our mids, so our highs right now. We've got 8 highs, 8 lows, and then we've got 5 mids. I don't hate that. What's our block zones look like? Okay, not terrible. The other option is we could just run it as is right now, right? We just put 21 attacks and probably feel fine with it.
I'm down doing cheerful for it.
Down for cheerful?
Yeah, because cheerful, I get used like the big thing for me, cheerful, I always want to use it really for defense, but I can use the offensive capability of cheerful really well.
Absolutely, you can.
So I think that's a fair substitute because it makes it basically a blitz rush almost with its damage.
I think 22 attacks is great.
Yep.
My question for you, my guy, is what's this number got to be?
Again, I'm not like, I would say within any number within 60.
Any number within 60. You're giving me a 10 card range to play with?
Yeah.
Tight. We're already 20 minutes in the video, so I'm going to take the wheel for a second, okay? I'm just going to throw just a bunch of stuff in your deck. First and foremost, we're playing at minimum 3 of basic training and easily excited. These cards are nuts. These cards are incredible. Plus damage, plus speed for free at response speed. It's nuts. You can play them early, you can play them late. Training the Gunhead has to be at least a 2 of because throw decks will just kill you for free. Shock Treatment has to be a 1 of because it's broken with your character. Same thing with Cool Student. It's broken with your character. Irrefutable Force of Nature is one of the strongest foundations in the entire game, and it will be that way for the rest of time. If you fight against an Earth, Fire, or Water deck, this says Enhance, Commit, don't deal with any card you want in their stage for the rest of the turn. This card's broken. At bare minimum, it should be a 2 of. From here, I've now put a bunch of cards in your deck. I'm going to cut a bunch of stuff that I don't like. Okay?
Yep.
First and foremost, where you at? Shadow's Aid, what a neat 1 of. Boop. In the Typhoon, I don't think you need, but if we have to play it, it's a 1 of. Frozen is amazing. Release, we're going to cut you down to a 3 of, only because of lack of other speed hate. One with Nature. One with Nature is a rad card that we're going to put at 3 of because we're trying to cut for room. Charged Up is going to be a 2. It might even get cut to 1. League Interview is hilarious. It's a 2 of, though. Successful Results is going to be a 2 of. Nothing to see here. I wish we could play at more, but we're not playing enough Furies. Triggers 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Or 4 unique cards. You could probably put Nothing to See here up to here.
Yep.
75. I was drawing more shit to cut. Okay, so from here, I now have to start making a lot of hard choices, okay? Things along the lines of Wealthy Aspirations shouldn't be a 3 of, it should be a 2 of. Villains Defeated should be a 2 of.
I think the Successful Results could be just gotten rid of.
Successful Results.
Up top.
Looking at you.
Over the top.
Yes, we already have this card that does a better job of it.
Yep.
Where we at? 71, we're so close. What do I not like? I think this card has to be in here exclusively because of Pillar Swing. I think the real answer is I probably want to cut Charged Up down to a 1 of. I think this card's not going to be as relevant as you think it is. This card hasn't seen play at all in set 2. But it might just be because of the 3 symbols that are being played on. And then let's take... I'm just going to get rid of In the Typhoon.
Okay.
I think you're just going to be too aggressive for it. I like Shadow's Aid, but I think it's probably also going to get cut. Okay, so what I have successfully done is I have now cut your deck to the gamer number. Congrats. What you have to do now is go play it. Go play this thing and see how you like it, right? Here is the big takeaway, though, right? This is the most important piece of your deck. Without the character doing what you want it to do, there's no reason to play this character. Your character is the only card in the game that you will start every single game with on the board. Every other card, you don't know. Your character is the most important piece to making this deck work. From here, the second thing you have to keep in mind is how do I win the game? And the only way that we can win the game in the My Hero Academia collectible card game is through attack cards. If you don't like what your attack lineup is doing, then stop. Then stop playing this attack lineup. And then third, all of these should be doing their absolute best to support the things that are on the board. It should support your character. It should support your attack lineup. If you feel like this is not doing an adequate job of supporting this, then you need to make changes here. Once you have that figured out, right? Once you have figured out what cards are good enough to support, you're going to find what the weakest pieces are. And the fourth aspect is to take and cut what you can without stopping this disruption or this flow. And what disruption can I put to stop my opponents from doing things? That's where things like good and evil, evil versus good come in.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep.
So there's your homework. There's your timeline.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Any final thoughts before I let you out of here?
No, I think we've covered it all.
Tight. All right, buddy. Well, let me shoot you with a deck list. Stay on the line just long enough, and you have a great rest of your night, okay?
Yeah, you too.
Peace.
Peace.